Hello everyone, it's B and we're back with another episode of B's Bot Bonanza, and today we are going to look at Kingdom Cyclonus. Kingdom Cyclonus. No, not you there. Where is it? Oh, there he is. Kingdom Cyclonus. Now, just before we get stuck in, a big thank you for a shout out from TRDQ, aka Gav Spence, here on YouTube. Go check out his channel if you haven't already. He does like incredibly tight little 1-2 minute reviews of Transformers and stuff, and he very kindly gave me a shout out on his community tab, which helped me get past the milestone of 50 subscribers. So thank you very much, and to honour that I can't get used to this finger thing. There he is, little Titan Master Repugnus there, who is obviously Gav's what's the word? I'll put it on my head in editing because I can't remember, but you know what I mean. And just one little thing of housekeeping again. I'm doing my first B-Spot Bonanza video I did with myself behind the camera and then the toy in front of the camera, like Ashen style. Let me know if you prefer that or if you prefer this. I'm just going to try this for this episode. I might go back to the other style. Let me know which you prefer, or if you have any thoughts. I'm still experimenting obviously with this. I think that the Bees Bias Babbling series will continue to be of this style, with me in it, because it's about my reaction to the thing, but for this being more quote unquote serious, or trying to be fair, objective about something that I love too much to be objective about. It's just, I thought I would try doing it the other way, and it lets me do some things a little bit better, like having the Terracon takeover, Blot appeared in that episode. There might be somebody appearing in this episode. I don't know if they're going to try and take over the channel again, but I'll see how that plays out for this style of camera setup. Let me know if you have any ideas. So now that we're ready to get actually started now, after probably way too long chatting the biggest load of crap about everything else and housekeeping and whatever, here we have the menu, no, the score sheet, scorecard, score menu. I am terrible with words today, but anyway, number 1, as you can see, will be scored on alt mode aesthetics. Number 2, alt mode playability. Number 3, bot mode aesthetics. Number 4, bot mode playability. You can see the theme there. Number 5, transformation, and that's split into 2 categories of fun and ease. Number 6, fiddleability. Number 7, interplayability. Number 9, value for money. I skipped one. Number 8, accessories. Number 9, value for money. And 10, representation of the character. These are all scored out of 10, which gives a total score of 100. So let's get into it. So bringing Cyclonus back in for his review, with the first category being alt mode aesthetics, I don't think there's anybody who disagrees that this is one of the most beautifully rendered versions of Cyclonus that has ever appeared officially in Transformers. This gorgeous, beautiful thing, without knowing who it is, without knowing, maybe the knee pads and the crotch and the chest maybe give it away a little, but from any appreciable distance, if you just see this on a shelf, you wouldn't know that this transforms. I don't think so. If a non-Transformers fan saw this, I'll just flick out this little landing gear here. If a non-Transformers fan saw this on the shelf, they would just be like, oh, that's a cool spaceship. Because it is a cool spaceship. That's all it needs to be. That's all that, I'm gushing so hard. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to think of a downside in terms of the aesthetics of this. but I can't. The only thing I've seen other people complain about is like these flaps here, like the parts that his arms are on, the way they have a step out here. Some people believe that they should fold flat, and if you squish them, you can kind of get them to fold flat. But in my view, they kind of function like intakes, so I don't really mind. Like it doesn't. Maybe from the top they're slightly gappy, but like compared to some other alt modes, like this is bloody fabulous. Absolutely incredible. My favorite aspects of the aesthetics are purely like the fact that all of these thrusters kind of match. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, probably not, but recessed in each of these 4 holes, Katie, is like little detail that matches, and it's so cool, it's so beautiful, and I just love. And I love this metallic purple. It looks black on my screen here, but it's metallic purple, and it's so pretty. But anyway, I think in terms of aesthetics, purely aesthetics, for the alt mode, it can't be anything more than 10. Come on, 10 out of 10. Off the bat, Cyclonus is doing well. And of course that brings us on to the second pointer, which is alt mode playability. And because he's just like a flying thing spaceship, there's not too much you can do. Like, he doesn't. I love this. You can do like a spinny spin, Star Fox, do a barrel roll thing, even though that's not what a barrel roll is, I think. But anyway, not to be an aircraft nerd, but speaking of aircraft nerdiness, I absolutely love that part of the transformation involves these flaps that turn into, to like smoothen out the wings to make them smaller in robot mode. But they have the incredible sort of accidental amazingness of then also functioning as elevons on the wings. And I say elevons, not ailerons. I've seen some people call these ailerons or flaps, but technically, if I can get my fucking jet fighter nerd hat on for a second, they're elevons, because he is a delta wing ship and has no elevator surfaces, so these would be elevons controlling pitch and roll. No, yeah, that direction's pitch, that direction's roll, and then his stabilizers would do yaw. But anyway, he's a spaceship, that doesn't matter. But I just love that. I love that so much. Like, that little amount of movement gives me such joy. I'm such a nerd. Oh my god. But anyway, another beautiful aspect I love of this is his landing gear are absolutely adorable. Of course, they don't have wheels or something. We're long past the years of getting movable wheels on landing gear, and they're not even painted, but they're adorable anyway. Like, I don't have anything to. Oh, I suppose I could just do this. There, he's sitting. Cool. Yeah, cool. Whatever. The only negatives I can think of for this alt mode in terms of playability are the fact that he doesn't have. Oh no, he does. Well, I take that back. I was just about to say that there's no flight stand hole here, but actually right up there, up his cloaca, to quote you, you can't see it here, but there is a hole. So he can have a flight stand. So that just proves me wrong, and I'll shut up now. So what else can we say about him in terms of playability? He's very nice to hold here. Like, you just go whoosh, Like, come on, like, look at that. Like, he's just, like, I know we've already scored him for aesthetics, but look at that. Look at that. He's just so nice. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. In terms of playability, it would be funny if the cockpit opened and you could get like a little teeny Galvatron that would fit in there to do that one scene that he flew in him for some reason. The movie was weird. Great, but weird. Other things to say about playability. it's quite sharp and quite stable, so you could use it as an axe. You know, like if somebody was breaking into your house, you could use it as an axe. I don't know. But yeah, just skipping ahead, we're going to give him 10 again. 10 out of 10 for alt mode playability. I am trying to be objective here, but there's no way that I can't just absolutely give him 25 out of 10 for having flaps. Like, come on, I'm a nerd. I love that stuff. Oof, that's a nice robot. Bot mode aesthetics, I mean, come on. Like, look at this. The same way that I said about the alt mode looking like it doesn't transform, this guy looks like he should be in Transformers Red, because he does not look like he transforms. Like, when you look at him, obviously, yeah, there is some little bits and hinges that gives it away, but realistically, come on, look at that. Perfection. He has no backpack, the wings aren't in the way at all. Like, it's just aesthetically absolutely gorgeous. And let's talk about that light piping, and you can even see it in my terrible lighting. Look at that. Oh, focus, 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 focus. You can't see that at all. But anyway, trust me, he has light piping, and it is very sexy. He's just gorgeous and just clean, and there's nothing else that I can say other than he's getting another 10 out of 10. I can't help it. I can't help it. He's just beautiful. Now you might be thinking, B, you're being a bit kind to Cyclonus. He does have some issues, and my response to that is, does he? Does he really? I don't think he does. Like, all of my things that I'm about to say now for this section about bot mode playability are completely like me trying my best to nitpick, trying my best to find something that I don't like about this figure, because I absolutely love it. The first thing off the bat is that some people don't like his shoulder design, the way that it's like hinged on the top instead of the bottom, so to speak. The aesthetics of that don't really bother me, and that it functions fine. I do wish though that he had a double jointed elbow, or could rotate here rather than there, because sometimes it's like you would like this part to rotate when you're posing him, but that's a nitpick. Another nitpick I have is the feet. I wish that, like, they have a good reasonable range forward, but I wish they had more backwards, and I wish they had a little more side to side. Like, they're just very slight, you know what I mean? So, and because they're quite thin feet, like, he doesn't stand quite as solidly as others do. That's literally it. Playability, like I said in my first video of these, I'm not going to go through every single joint that this boy has, because you've already seen that in other videos and you don't need to see it again. Okay, what are we going to give him for this? 10 out of 10? No, actually, we're going to give him 9 out of 10, just to be fair. Now, in terms of transformation, I am still not decided on the best way for me to show this. I know other channels do like a step-by-step transformation. Other channels do like a collage and stuff. Like for my Earthrise Optimus Prime video, I just skipped straight to between the modes. And in my Spinister video, I did like a little, like sped up thing. I might do that here. I don't know. But in terms of the transformation, I'll just talk about it first and then go into that, I think. So going from bot mode into vehicle mode is a lot easier, in my opinion, than going from vehicle mode to bot mode. And that is simply because of these arms. I don't know if anybody else has this issue, but for example, I'll just transform it a wee bit here to show you what I mean. So in vehicle mode, I'll just put his hand away just for the full effect. So there he is. Pretend that's in vehicle mode, right? That arm. Ignore the rest of it. Just pretend that that's vehicle mode. So this arm in vehicle mode the way that that tabs in to that part of his leg is so tight that I need a tool every time. And by tool, mostly I would just use like another gun or something. Like, thankfully, because his hand has the peg hole, normally what I can do is like slot the target master in and yank it like that. But that obviously leads to the chance of damaging the target master, and if I use something like a screwdriver, it leads to the chance of damaging this. And the reason that it happens like that is because I think of the way that this part, so the port is part of his wrist, like the other side of his wrist, and the section that tabs into the leg is also part of the wrist. So if I fold it out, you'll see that. Do you know what I mean? So those parts are attached, but they're on this hinge here, which is not attached to that. So what happens is, when you're trying to yank it out, like hold it by the wings or something, try to yank it out, it comes away like that. So it doesn't have that much, and then so you're sort of having a bending force. Not to get really too into the physics of this, but like when you're trying to pull like a bending force, it just doesn't feel right, you know what I mean? Thankfully, because of the sort of plastic that Cyclonus is made of, it's like a very nice, like, silky smooth, I would say. So it's not, like, not greasy or something, but like it definitely feels glass smooth, like, so I haven't noticed any stress marks on him yet from doing that, but it is just something to note, and it is something that I sort of take on board when thinking about how to score him and stuff like that. I'm just folding his arm out again here. In terms of the rest of the transformation, it's absolutely beautiful. Like, I'll just, another thing to show is, so for example, like I said, in the aesthetics, zero backpack, zero crap on him, around him at all. So then when you fold the arms out, on this section, right, you're like, oh, what's that? That's his chest. That then opens out this way, opens out that way, and then this is where the magic happens, because you have this section folds around, head goes in, blah de blah, like that. So that all folds up again like this, right? But it's this cone here, and I absolutely adore this. I adore the way that it works. I adore the aesthetics of it as well. It's just so cool. The way that this cone part folds out, it's just so cool and just so beautiful as a figure. This very tip of the cone is the other nitpick that I have, is that sometimes it can be hard to get it out of there. But it's not tight. It's just like hard to get your finger in, especially if you've just cut your nails today, like I have, like an idiot. But anyway, like that is just magic. Like the way that all folds out from that, so to making from all of that being into the chest, and then like completely folded out straight, bang, and then this rotates down. Obviously, again, I'm not going to go through the full thing, but like, look how long that is now. That's just appeared out of nowhere. He's just magicked that out of his ass. Like, it's just incredible. I don't know what else to say. It's just incredible. However, I can't give him a solid 10 out of 10 for that, just because of the issues raised. In terms of it is just this tab. I might just try to like snip this down a little bit, because I do that on other figures that I have. When the tabs are too tight, I like to just take a little nail file to them and just take a little bit off, so that they're not stressing themselves and stressing me in the process. You know what I mean? So I'll just put him down and then fix him between cuts. So in terms of scoring this section, in terms of ease, I think that's where it's going to fall down a bit, but I think it's still like a solid 4 out of 5, because it's not difficult, it's just slightly annoying and not perfect. So for that, I have to give him a 4 out of 5 for ease. And then in terms of fun though, like, God, it's a fun transformation. Like I said, that nose cone part is beautiful. Like, it's absolutely perfect. So overall for transformation, that is a 9. I can't write or read my own writing, but anyway, it's a 9 out of 10 for transformation. Now this next section is quite hard to score. It's fiddleability, and as much as I love Cyclonus, I don't reach for him as much as I do some other figures, and I'm not really sure why. Like, aesthetically, he's obviously beautiful. We've talked about that. Engineering-wise, the transformation, we've already talked about that. It's absolutely beautiful. But there's just something about, I don't know whether it's the way that he stands or can't really stand or something. I don't know, but it's like, he's not my go-to for fiddleability. Now in alt mode, he is swooshable as hell. You've seen me like swooshing him all out the wazoo. He's incredible. But there's just, I don't know, like, I think Cyclonus for me, maybe it's just because, like, I like him as a character, but he's not like a favourite. So maybe it's that as well. But maybe it's the size, because he's, obviously he's not pocket sized, like he's a Voyager, and quite a tall chap, compared to like Micromasters that are very small and easily to just take in your pocket and stuff. So like, fiddleability, I don't know. 6 out of 10, is that too harsh? I don't know. I can only be honest, I suppose, because like, he is a very fun toy to play with, but I just don't reach for him as much, because Cyclonus is the type of character, I think, who fits best in a group. So like, I think and Galvatron's kind of the same. Like that Galvatron, I have the toy colors Galvatron, and I play with that one a lot more than I play with the purple one, just because like these two look so cool. The directions on this backwards thing, these two look so cool together, standing. So it's like playing with them isn't as important. They just look cool standing together. I don't know, but I mean, feel free to disagree with my comments about all of these, by the way. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, like what your scores would be and stuff like that. So for fiddleability for Cyclonus, I can only give him a 6, because I can only be honest. Like, objectively, there's nothing wrong with him. I just don't reach for him as much as I reach for other Transformers. I don't even know. Sorry. Yeah. Interplayability. Technically, 10 out of 10, because he has a lot of ports on him. You can stick anything on him. I'm actually missing someone there, so there's some more stuck on him. Stuck on his back, stuck on his arms. Oh, there's actually 2 more on the arms I didn't even stick anything on. There we go. Just ports out the wazoo. I absolutely love how the bluish parts look on him. Whoosh and all that. I don't know what else to say. I'm not very good at like making weapons out of these guys. Like I have Skelevor and Brunt on him here, but yeah, cool. Okay. 10 out of 10. Easily. Again. Just because for pure amount of holes that he has. Anyway. 10 out of 10. So now we're going to look at accessories that Cyclonus came with, and I don't know why, but Cutthroat decided to join us. I don't know what he's going to do, but anyway. Accessories that Cyclonus himself came with. Sadly, he only comes with one gun, and it's a very pretty gun. Don't get me wrong, I love the colour, and I love the style, I love the shape, even though it's very hollow underneath. But that's to be expected these days, like they can't be solid anymore. It's not the Unicorn Trilogy day, sadly. Hashtag childhood, but anyway. It's a lovely gun, but it's the only thing he comes with. But in terms of other things he's compatible with, this is Nightstick that came with the Artfire and Nightstick set, the Gen Select set, and I very much enjoy how he looks with Cyclonus. I'll just pop the both of them in their hands here. Yes, I know, shut up. Yes, I know I would be easier with 2 hands, but my other hand is holding you, you idiot, so don't shout at me. Okay, so using my mouse because my other hand is holding this paddle. Yeah, he looks pretty cool. He looks pretty cool with both gun mustache. Sorry, I don't know. He looks pretty cool with nightstick. And his gun. I wish he came with more. Like, I wish that he came with a nightstick, or at least came with two guns, like this gun and a smaller gun, or maybe like a sword to reference the IDW line of stuff. And speaking of IDW, another accessory that I think this Cyclonus works quite well with is the I can't do this one on it. The Power of the Primes tailgate. What? You want to review? But I was going to, but fine. Okay, so instead of reviewing Tailgate here, Cutthroat wants to review him on his own. So this will be this week's episode of TerraCon Takeover, I guess. Oh, you want me to score? Okay, sorry, what was that? I didn't get a word of that, mate. Okay, so bot mode 10. Okay. Why? Why do you think he's so good? Alright. And what about the others? It doesn't matter. What do you mean it doesn't matter? Of course it matters. Total? What, total already? No, you need to do the other ones. Okay, fine, Jesus. 40? Out of what, 100? But that's not even... There, are you glad you got that out of your system? Yeah? Yeah, okay, good. Now, piss off. Anyway. This Cyclonus isn't very IDW shaped, and this tailgate isn't very IDW shaped either, but I think they look quite well together, you know? And I absolutely love putting them together sometimes, and this is actually a hint of the next Beesbot Bonanza episode, if you can think of who the other two famous gay couple in IDW was. One of the names is to do with tape, and the other one is to do with car bumpers in the 50s? I don't know. In terms of value for money then, I think Cyclonus on his own, even with the one gun, like, I can't deny he's an incredible buy. Anybody who's into Transformers, you cannot say no to this guy. I know that Kingdom is over now, and we're on to Legacy, but still, if you can find this guy for retail price, he is well worth it, like 25 quid or whatever, for one of the best Voyagers in Kingdom, if not the best Voyager in Kingdom. And I don't want to say that just because I have Blaster, and I do prefer Blaster to Cyclonus. However, Blaster is technically a Legacy character that was moved forward to Kingdom. But anyway, Cyclonus on his own merits is bloody amazing. So in terms of value, he can only get a 9 out of 10. The reason he's not getting a 10 is because of the aforementioned, like the fact he only has one gun. But I suppose you have to take into consideration like the amount of transformation that takes in place here. And he is a really solid guy, like he feels well worth the money. You know, like some Transformers, I get them and I love them because it's a character, so like the toy itself doesn't really matter to me, or, you know, well it matters, but in terms of like my perception of the value. So for example, like Spinister, I don't care whether he would have cost me 40 quid. I loved Spinister and I would have got him anyway. But the fact Cyclonus is like such a great toy, even though he's not one of my like favourite characters, he's just incredible, and he stands up on his own, and he's well worth anybody's time. Now, the last category, but definitely not the least category, is the representation of the character that this figure represents. Now, yes, it is extremely G1. There's not even a sniff of IDW about this, really. I've seen some folks doing, like, replacing the head and giving him swords and stuff, and that's cool. Like, if you're into IDW Cyclonus, that's cool. But I feel like IDW Cyclonus's design is different enough that it definitely warrants its own figure, like its own style of figure, rather than just trying to slam IDW into this one. Like, this is definitely the best G1 style Cyclonus that we have ever had in toy form officially from Hasbro, and I would actually dare say that this is better than the third party takes in terms of robot mode aesthetics and like alt mode aesthetics and stuff. I just much prefer this, and for the price you cannot fucking beat it at all. You can't beat it with a big stick. My only gripe that takes this down from a 10 out of 10 figure is the face. Like, he just looks so gormless. Like, sorry, the gun is annoying me. He just looks so gormless. Like, he looks like he has 2 brain cells, and both of them are stupid and evil, and he's just, I don't know. There's just something about, I don't know whether his face is too long or something. Well, actually, on camera, he looks great. He looks fucking awesome on camera. But in person, he just looks so, I don't know, there's something missing. It's not the goatee, because I know some people have painted on a goatee to match Galvatron. That's cool. If you like that, do that. I don't really care either way about Cyclonus having a goatee or not. I love the bunny ears. I love the hat, the helmet, kind of like looking like a Lego man haircut. There's just something about the face. There's just something about the face that just doesn't hit, and I don't know what it is. He just looks so, he looks bored. Is that what it is? Like, he doesn't look evil, he doesn't look whatever, he just looks so bored. Like, he's just bored of Galvatron shit. Like, this isn't 1986 movie Cyclonus. This is season 3 Cyclonus, where he's just fed up to the balls of Galvatron being a fucking twat. But yeah, so for that, 9 out of 10. Does that sound fair? Which gives us an overall score of 89. 89 out of 100. Not bad. Not the best score that you can ever get, obviously, because it's not 100. But until we get like the full series of 5 done, then I will compare all the scores together. You know, like, there's no point in me comparing this guy to Earthrise Prime, because it's the only 2 reviews that I've done. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna do them like separately, if that makes sense. Like, after every series of 5 episodes, I'll do a quick like comparison at the end to be like who won, or do you know what I mean? Just like score sheet, and then I'll keep the totals through all the series. So instead of it just being like every 5 episodes it resets, they will continue until I feel like resetting it. I don't know, or maybe never. It'll just carry on. So 89 might be the highest score for a long time, or it might be the highest score until next time. But until next time, I'll see you later. Bye. You thought it was over? Well, it is now. I just wanted to jump in and say thank you for watching, and thank you to everybody who has watched and subscribed so far. I still can't believe I'm at 50 subscribers already. Let me know your thoughts on Cyclonus. Did you agree? Did you disagree? What would you score him using my system, or what would you score him using your own system? And if you liked this video, please consider going back and watching episode 1, which was Earthrise Optimus Prime. And I will warn you that because it was one of my first videos, it is not fantastic. I have learnt a lot since then, but it's still worth a watch if you feel like it. So, thank you for watching. Please continue to like the videos if you enjoy them. Subscribe if you want to see more. Like I say on every video so far, I don't have a solid timetable yet for uploads or anything. I'm just going to do these whenever I'm able to. But I'm trying to aim for like 1 video a week, maybe every 2 weeks. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of that, just to keep track. Yeah, yeah, like share if you feel like other people might be interested in my style of videos or my opinions on Cyclonus or anything like that. So yeah, thanks and bye and love you.